How would I look like?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the campus there at Bishop Guertin High School. Jason Roby along with the highlight guy, Steve Cody. He is the man on the moving pictures. It is our Live with Liv minute here. And, Coach, the friendly confines of Bishop Guertin, we are back on your home court. Let's talk a little bit about the game in Concord a couple of nights ago. A tough loss to, a team that you faced, a Concord Christian team.
Yeah. Just
kind of felt like you guys were maybe a little tired, running in some cement shoes, and just never really kind of got into your rhythm. Talk to us a little bit about that game, and before we move into this one, what was your take? What was the team's take?
Yeah, so I mean, you kind of just said it perfectly, Jason. I feel like we're just dead like the whole time. I thought we came out flat.
Yeah.
And again, like we've had a similar conversation before where if that is how we start a game against a good team, a very talented team, it's really challenging to dig ourselves out of that hole, right? So we came out flat and we just couldn't get over that hump. Like we looked tired, we looked fatigued. I mean, credit to the girls, they've been busting their butts.
Yeah.
I understand they're tired. But yeah, we struggled a bit and couldn't get past that on Friday night.
And a lot of these girls that are playing, right, and we talked about this up here off camera, was a lot of these kids were playing middle school basketball a year ago, and it's a little bit different. You're banging up against some bigger bodies and some kids that are, a little bit longer in the tooth than your kids.
Yeah.
When you have games like that, and as coaches, I'm here to tell you, you're going to have games like that. What do you kind of hang your hat on when things are going kind of south? What's the one message or two messages you kind of look for from your team? You know you're going to come up on the short end of it. What's something that you're looking for?
Yeah, so I really would say every time out, halftime, even after the game, the message remained the same. And that was, like, life is hard, right? Like, beyond everything, it's bigger than basketball. Life is hard. It's going to throw a lot of things your way. You're going to face adversity. You're going to face challenges, whether it's in life, whether it's in the game, whatever it may be, right? But to us, that can't be reason good enough to then go and hang your head, right? Like we have to, you got to keep pushing. You got to find a way to bring something positive, to bring energy, whatever it is. And I think along with poor energy, we just, like, we hung our heads a little bit. Like we were, I'm not playing well. I'm not getting the calls that I want. And I think that got in our way. And I think that showed our youth and our age a lot. But that really just being the big message is, who are you when you face adversity?
Chance to get a hard reset here tonight, facing a Manchester Central team that's been on the short end of things a little bit this year. They're struggling as well. They come in with a couple of wins. What's the message to your girls tonight as they take on this Manchester Central / West combined team? Yeah,
so honestly, just kind of what I had said to you just now is we need to bring energy. We have to have good, positive body language. Even when things aren't going our way, we have to execute. We have to play hard. Hopefully we can keep it rolling. And JV sent a good tone this afternoon, so that's what we're looking to do tonight.
She is Liv Orlando, the head coach of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Coach, wish you the best of luck tonight. Go get them.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, we'll take it down to the floor now, and referees are meeting with the captains. A Bishop Guertin team that has been on the short end of things. They've had a tough few games here. They went to Concord Christian, lost there. They were at Bishop Feehan of Massachusetts and ran into a perennial power in Feehan, and then obviously Mercy, Connecticut, gave them quite a bit of a hard time here. We're going to bring in another guest, Brad Craik, the former head coach of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, kind enough to join us here on the mic. And Coach, thanks for joining us. We've just mentioned here, and we talked to Coach Orlando a little bit about this. You've hit a tough string here where you've run into kind of a gauntlet of three very, very tough teams. Concord Christian, no slouch. Obviously, Bishop Feehan, we know about them. And then, of course, you look at Mercy, Connecticut, and all the firepower that they had. That an 0-3 run, really playing against three tough teams, but each of the efforts maybe not what Coach Orlando wanted to see. A little bit different in Mercy than maybe what you saw against Feehan and then against Concord Christian. How do you kind of rally your troops to come back from that situation, playing in a game against Central West tonight?
Yeah, great question. You're right, a bit of a tough stretch. I think, not in their practices, so it's hard to, exactly know, but knowing Liv the way I know her, I think she probably challenged them a little bit, is my guess, particularly on the heels of that Concord Christian game where, I don't think any of them were super pleased with with that game. So, I know she gave them the weekend off, get their heads, cleared, rest up a little bit. They had a tough stretch physically and mentally. And I'll bet you, again, as I said, knowing her the way I do, that, she pushed their buttons pretty hard yesterday would be my guess.
You brought up a great point there, and it's something that we've talked about off camera. It looked like they had tired legs in that Concord Christian game, and when things aren't going well, fatigue really sets in and is more noticeable when you're on the short end of the scoreboard. And she kind of alluded to the fact that, that was the case. These girls are a little bit tired. We're, 3/4 of the way through the regular season, and the length of the season starting to show up here a little bit with this team. And we forget these girls were playing 8th grade basketball, a lot of them, a year ago.
Yeah, you're making a great point. I think, it is just like learning how to cross somebody over or learning how to box somebody out. To me, it's a learned skill to understand how to take care of yourself throughout the course of a very long season. And you're right. These kids are young physically, they're young mentally, and, I think, they're growing before your eyes. I think you've said that on numerous occasions. I can't remember exactly what the term of art is, but you sort of talk about building the plane as you're flying it. They're just learning how to manage themselves through a 3.5, 115, 120 day long, grueling season. And you probably saw a little bit of the battle scars of that over the last week and a half. So let's hope that weekend off and kind of getting their batteries recharged here allowed them to hit the reset button and see a solid performance out of them tonight.
A Manchester Central West team that has had a fairly difficult season here. Not a lot of green W's in the column there at the NHIAA website. They show up, they practice hard. It is a co-op team rather between Manchester West and Manchester Central, and like we said, just a couple of wins. This really might be exactly what Guertin needs in terms of the mental game.
Yeah, and what you hope is that none of these guys have looked at the website,
right,
and have sort of said to themselves, this should be kind of a cakewalk and so forth. Because hey, look, this is high school basketball, Division I high school basketball.
Anything can happen.
I don't really care who you're playing. Kids can play a little bit, so you just hope that they're sound from start to finish here, and get back on a winning track, and then kind of get themselves ready for the 2-week stretch run.
Not to mention, and kind of looking at it from the other side of things, the Manchester Central team that might feel exactly the same way. Hey, we're playing a team that's been 0-3 the last few games here. They're reeling a little bit, and maybe it's a good chance for us to get a W. So
yeah, to sort of look at their chops a little bit, and we'll see. That's why they play the games, right? You gotta go out and, as Liv says, you gotta go out and execute.
That's it. We'll meet the starters for the Little Green. Tiana Mann is a sophomore guard wearing number 1. Chloe Murphy wears number 15. She's a junior forward. Number 10 is Layla Muhammad, a sophomore guard. Number 13 is Marley Oates, sophomore forward. And number 40 is a junior guard, Adriana Perrone. So no seniors in the starting lineup for this Little Green. We'll call them the Green Knights. I think we'll do that. But a young team as well. And now we'll meet the starting 5 for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals as the lights go dark. Number 2 is Maddie Long. Number 10, Ayla Regan gets the start for Coach Orlando. 23 is freshman Holly Dufo, the sharpshooter. Jazz Rosario, the freshman, wears number 24, brings a lot of energy to the floor. Thalia Drapo, number 34, also a sophomore, will get the start for Coach Orlando. So we will take this break in the action here before the tip for the national anthem, and we'll be right back with the start of this one.
Remove your hats as we honor America, those who have served her and continue to serve her with the playing of our national anthem.
All right, the national anthem is in the books. We've met the starting 5 for each team. Jason Roby along with Brad Craig. Man on the moving pictures is Steve Cody. Thank you all for watching the Highlight Guy. I want to welcome all of our friends from the city of Manchester for tuning in here tonight. I want to remind you that Brad, myself, and Steve will all be in Bedford Friday night for what promises to be a great matchup, potentially a preliminary look at what could be the state championship in Division I. In March, it'll be Pinkerton visiting the home of the Bedford Bulldogs, and that should be a good one, Coach.
Yeah, that's 2 undefeated. Well, assuming each of them takes care of business tonight, which I would expect to be the case, you're going to get 2 13 or 14-0 teams squaring off, and probably the regular season game of the year in Division I.
And the Highlight Guy will be there. We are ready to jump things off. It's Drapo and Oates. Ball goes to Drapo, and they will start in the half court. Rosario with the rock on the G, gets it over the top. Now Regan, flasher in the middle.
Man-to-man here, Jason.
Being employed, and if Drapo had just dropped her left foot, she had an easy 2 points. Fired from way downtown beyond the arc is no good. And back the other way come the Green Knights. This is Mann. Dribble drive in the lane. Good defense there by Regan, putting her hands up. And Dufo let that one go out of bounds. It was off Manchester Central. Brad, I want to go back to that prior possession that the Cards had. If Drapo just drops her step, she's got a layup there on that last possession.
Yeah, I don't think she was even aware that nobody was on her back.
And this time there is rotating over, and that's Dufo from way downtown. The Cards up 3-0. Got a little press going here. Full court man-to-man pressure. And Mann will break it using the dribble. Little spin move at the top of the key, down to the right side. That ball will be knocked out of bounds, and they're going to say it tipped off of Perron's hand. And the referee setting the tone early here. Please do not go past that little hash mark. Of course, Brad Craig never had that problem because he was 10 feet out onto the floor. All right, shot from way downtown, and Drapo knocks down a triple. Our second Yahtzee. Ball comes into Mann. Over the top now, finds Muhammad, and into the middle it goes. This is Murphy. And I'm going to say Murph took a little bit of a half a step there on the high elbow, so the turnover will give the ball back to the Cards. Rosario over to Drapo.
See if Thalia gets downhill again here.
Yeah, it looks like they're accounting for her this time.
Yep.
So she'll step out beyond the arc and back iron. Cards get an offensive rebound. This is Long into the corner. Oh, a little crossover dribble pull-up jumper, and I like the look, but comes up short, and Mann will run.
It's the first time I've seen Central. Impressed so far with number 1, Mann. Tough, quick point guard. Pretty good handle.
She drives to the hoop and gets fouled on her way to the cup. And they were doing their own version of the dribble drive. That foul will go against Dufo. That's her first. Bounce pass along the baseline. Murph almost let it get away from her, but was able to control it. And this time does. Coach Orlando helping the official out, pointing to the right. Good call, Coach. 5:43 to go, 6-0, Bishop Guertin. On ball pick, driving to the hoop is Jazz, kick out Dufo. That hits, barely brushes the net. And the Cards will settle for a one and done on that trip. Man, losing the handle. Dufo gets on the ground, and we're going to get a jump ball call. Possession goes to Central. Chloe Murphy will do the honors from the far side. Come into the backcourt. Tiana Mann now gets it over the timeline. pick on ball, got to communicate. Losing her dribble. Little denial defense going on. The trap came, and they were able to. It was a good look. They were able to find Perron, but she got called for the travel.
Let's see if they get something at the rim here, Jason. 3 straight possessions. Perimeter looks. Love to see them try to put some pressure on the paint, see if they can get downhill and get to the rim, get something easy.
And there it is, downhill. Good call, Coach. Rosario's in the books. 8-0 Cardinals. And now Murphy, marked up by Dufo. She'll go over the top of that screen. Murphy thought about it at the foul line, hands it back off to Mann. Kick out, way long, follows her own shot, and you gotta like the effort by Perron there. She was long on the triple, followed her shot and got hacked. That one's gonna go against Rosario. That's her first personal.
So Jason, for those of you who are looking, you mentioned looking at the website, and Central's struggling this year. If you look back over the last 10, 15 years in New Hampshire Division I basketball, this has been one of the more competitive programs. They were in a couple Final Fours 6, 7, 8 years ago. Coach Winters, to me, one of the best coaches, on the girls' side, has been at it a long, long time. His teams are always, they play super hard, super tough. They're very physical. And that Central gym up in Manchester, we're not there tonight, it's one of the toughest places to play.
Tough place to play, yeah.
You remember our game there last year. It was, just kind of a slugfest. Whether he's got talent or not a lot of talent, doesn't much matter. His kids are going to play very, very hard.
Dufo knocks down a triple there, and full court pressure continues. And I have to say, even though it's 11-1 right now, it's a Central team that's they look better than their record indicates. From what if you took the scoreboard off, you would see a team of kids that appear to be in the right spots, doing the right things.
Yeah, and they're doing some simple things right now. They're catching the ball, they're not putting it on the ground. They're catching it,
they're
facing it, put it over their head. And, they're being taught very, very well. You
can see that the fundamentals of the game are definitely employed here and are done probably daily in practice.
Yep, I agree with you.
Rosario kicks it out to Dufo. She'll fire again from distance. No. And the long rebound is tipped to Mann, and she'll bring it up slowly. Now she'll attack the right baseline. She'll think things over and bring it back up top. Murphy will circulate to the high elbow, gets it over to Oates. Oates looking for a flasher through the middle, and Drapo with the quick hands, got to be careful. Don't want to pick up any cheap ones. Perron almost had it stolen from her. Nice dribble drive, had to throw it up off the backboard. Good defense, that was Muhammad. And look at this, Brad, a little transition running. Dufo ran the floor, has nothing to show for it, but it's kind of what you want to see from this young Guertin team.
I love that look right there. Get out and run and score early.
Get on your Pontiac and ride.
So now push the ball. Yeah, there you go. Now push.
You got the numbers right here, and I say settle for a three, but it's a good look. It's uncovered, and if it's a miss, you still have the numbers for the rebound. I like it.
See, Jason, you and I used to talk about this all the time. I mean, there are threes and there are threes. So a three in transition, when people are really running down the floor before the defense can get set up, you're going to have mismatches all over the place. You're making people run up and down the floor. I'm a huge fan of the transition three early out in space. And the other thing you just put your finger right on is if you miss in transition, you got a much better chance of getting an offensive rebound when people are still coming back down the floor than you do if you get set and, people are making you work in the half court. So, the more this Guertin team, who's pretty athletic, they get kids on the floor that can get up and down the floor. They can really haul the mail. The more they can push the pace, stay really well spaced in transition, that to me is where kind of their sweet spot for shooting. I don't mind them shooting 23s a game. They can get 12, 13, 14 of them in transition early. I really, really like that look for them.
Well, I think for me it even goes back to the defensive board, and you had Drapo, who's a big that can handle the ball. She looked over her right shoulder, saw two little green Knight players behind her and said, if I push this thing, I've got numbers.
So that's it's a big advantage Guertin has. A lot of teams have bigs that don't handle the ball that well. Thalia can handle it. She got guard-like skills that way. So, You know, you got 5 kids on the floor, at least in that starting lineup, who, if they are the kid getting the rebound, they can actually lead the break, which is a nice luxury to have.
Little Green set up in their half-court offense, couple of cycles through the key. It'll come up to the high right three-point line, and a miss there. The board is grabbed by the recently checked in Gallagher. Cards will reverse the floor. This is Pizzetti, and she brings a different kind of energy level and immediately draws a foul the first time she touches the ball.
So, Jason, a little bit of a sight for sore eyes after about a month on the shelf with an injury. Number 12, Bella Fayed, first game back after, really a great start to the season. And, love her game. I think she complements, a lot of these guards very well, but not long, but nice job.
And look at right there. That's what we talk about, finding on the low block, looking right to the basket. Love that play. And to your point, Brad, yeah, Fayed went down early with an injury, and we were wondering when we'd get to see her again. And sure, she's got to get her legs under here a little bit, but good to see number 12 back on the floor.
Yeah, she's going to give him a nice physical presence. Great rebounder, moves the ball really well, understands the game. So just a great kid to plug back into the rotation here in the last 3 weeks of the season.
Pizzetti will pick up her first foul. It is the second team foul, just the one team foul against the Little Green. So a relatively clean game played here in the first quarter. Kicked out to the right wing. This is Martinez, got it on the low block. Murphy, little jump shot. That's a pretty shot there by Chloe. 16-3 Cardinals, 1:28 to go in the first quarter. Regan running the point here. Design play. In and out. That one was shot from way downtown. Dufo's not shy. She'll go shoot 50% in that possession. She's got 9, all of them beyond the arc.
Good start to the game for her tonight.
And she needed that. The sledding was tough. It was a Concord Christian team that played really good defense, really sound on the floor, and it was kind of the perfect storm against that Guertin team as they were doing just about everything right on that senior night in Concord.
Yeah, just a tough night for them all around. 2 nights after they went down to Fian, long drive, etc., got beat up a little bit. Just one of those games you want to kind of erase from your memory bank as quickly as you can and move on.
And I guess that's the question, Brad, is, banished from the kingdom of hardwood. Back the other way comes Gallagher, and another big that can handle. Pizzetti underneath, but that's a good look there. Cardinals running the floor.
Good defense.
And Dufo sticking her wings in there, and that ball's going to go off a Central. What a great play by Holly Dufo. Murphy will check out, and number 34 for the Little Green, Lydia Mann, will make her first appearance for Coach Winters. Sorry, Coach, go ahead. You were saying?
I was going to say feed the hot hand.
Yeah.
Holly's got it going pretty good now. There you go.
Yep.
Feed any hands, I guess, right?
And Regan has 6, all from beyond the arc. Live by the 3, die by the 3. There's a lot of living going on here tonight in the first quarter. And that ball is going to go off of Mann. So last couple of possessions, Tiana's had it go off of her. And these turnovers are turning into points for the Cards. 5 seconds to go. Nobody accounts for Dufo alone in the corner. And she Yahtzees one. 12 points for the freshman, all beyond the stripe. The Cards have 7, count them, 7 triples, Brad, in the first quarter.
Yeah, they shot the ball great. Shot the ball great. You talked at the beginning of the game about, hopefully this is a game they can kind of get healthy. They're off to a pretty good start.
Yeah.
Feeling good about themselves right now.
Yeah, they're all smiles in there, and that's the one thing that you notice. A lot of times body language tells the story, and you don't even have to look at the scoreboard sometimes to know just how the flow of the game is going by looking at the body language. Body language is huge, and I know that that's one thing that Coach Lane over at Nashua North talks a lot about. Your body language really tells the story. So hope to see some more sharp shooting here for this Cardinal team, as they will need it. It's important that they get every win that they can, as we talked about in Concord, Brad. It's getting late early, and you're kind of running out of runway here, so to speak, as they come into the evening 5-8 And it's a game, oh, by the way, against Wachusett that's been played at Emmanuel College over the last few years that is kind of up in the air right now. Not sure how that's going to play out. So Coach Orlando mentioned to us that they had it on their schedule, but Wachusett did not have it on their schedule. So a little scheduling snafu there, maybe. Not sure how that's going to play out in the end game.
Yeah, not sure, but you know, you put your finger on it. They just need wins right now. So,
yep.
You know, 5 and 8.
Oh, and a 3-second call there, Steve. I believe that's our first of the year. We were taking note of them last year. I think we had maybe 6 all year, 7 all year. That's the first one of this season that we've seen. For those of you who don't know what 3-second violation is, we'll talk a little bit about that at halftime. All right. Ball comes in the top. Nice job of reversal there by Central. They'll continue to kick it around the outside. Now, same book, different page, as Murphy was flashing through the middle of the paint, and the pass went behind her. No rewind machine here, so a turnover for the Little Green Knights. Pretty pass underneath. Fayed, welcome back, kid. Nice recognition, nice unselfish basketball as Fayed flashes to the hole. 27-3 Cardinals. Murphy has her pocket pick. Pizzetti will put it into overdrive. They'll kick it back out. Regan back to Fayed. The runner in the lane comes up short, but it's a good look. Nice job of dishing it out. Pizzetti will charge hard, no. And that ball will go off of, oh, they're going to say it went off of a Cardinal wing. Checking in for the Cards is Gabby Philbrook getting her first action, and Rosario will re-enter the fray. 6:50 to go, 27-3 Cards. Over half court comes Tiana Mann. Little hesitation, gets it to Murphy. Down on the baseline, and they were trying to find a flashing Poulin, but that ball was knocked away, and back the other way comes Pizzetti, and a right idea. Cards were running there. Pizzetti tried to get it to Jazz, but it was a little too low. May have been bothered on that bounce pass. But you hit on that, Brad. You know, get out in transition, and good things can happen.
Yeah, they're speeding the game up, and you know they're gonna get more looks at the basket. You know, nice move right there.
Tough move by Tiana Mann, and she is in the books.
Tiana's impressive.
She is.
Yeah.
Tough player.
Yeah, physical and downhill player. Gets to the rim.
Rosario.
Comes your high ball screen, Jason.
There it is. A little roll to Fayed. They account for it. She comes back to the elbow. Meanwhile, Gallagher goes strong to the hoop. Love the move. And she hustles back for it. And that's just something you don't teach. You either have that or you don't. Love that get after it. Good hustle by Gallagher. The Cards won't have any points to show for that. That's the thing that doesn't show up in the scorebook at the end of the night. But you remember those kinds of things. Fayed steps in the middle of that passing lane, picks one off.
Look early here. Look early here. There we go.
And that is just an outstanding recognition by Pizzetti, finding Fayed flashing down to the low block. Bella will head to the line for 2 free throws, and that foul will go against, I believe it's Poulin. That's her first. And Bella knocks down the first, not showing a whole lot of rust here, Brad.
No, she looks great.
Brad puts the old whammy on her. That time it was Brad's fault, not mine, Steve. 1 out of 2 for Fayed. She's got 3 points in her return to the hardwood. 28-5 Cardinals, 5:18 to go. We got a little 1-3-1 zone here, Coach.
Looks like it. Looks like kind of a trapping
little
1-3-1.
Trap. Haven't seen the 1-3-1 from Coach Orlando in a couple of games anyway.
Yeah, it's nice to see him mix it up, and it's actually I like it. It's an aggressive 1-3-1. So
yeah,
like trapping either up top or in the corners. You know, sometimes they're actually they're so quick.
Yeah.
On the wings and up top, Gianna up top is just covers so much ground so quickly that you can actually trap the top and the corners.
Good drop there by Philbrook on the back post, and
nice pass.
I'm going to say that went off of, what do they call those jousting things that the Knights use there? Jousting stick? I don't even know. Cardinals use it. Went off the wing. I don't know. Oh, I don't know about that one, but what do I know? So that one's going to go against Pizzetti, and just like that, she's got her third foul.
It was kind of funny. I was actually, my sight line, I was looking at that ref, and he had that whistle in his mouth.
The whistle was already blown before she got there, right. I'm like, okay, you saw that too.
I think it was a pretty good screen, actually.
I did too. Well, you'll watch that one back on the highlight guy, and if you disagree with us, I'll give you Brad Craig's cell phone number.
Yeah.
You can let him know.
Yeah.
That ball ripped away. Philbrook now. Got to watch out. And good trailing defense set by Mann as she got into that. Good sportsmanship as she helps Philbrook up. And that foul, I believe, is going to go against Mann. That'll be her first personal. As Long will check in the game for Pizzetti, who has the 3 quick fouls there.
Yeah, she got 3, but, you know, Jason, as the season has gone along, I have been more and more impressed with what Gianna Pizzetti gives this team. I think it's indispensable what she does for this team.
Agreed.
And as you get down into these tough final, part of the season games and hopefully into the state tournament, I think she's going to play a bigger and bigger role for this team. She's an absolute monster defensively, one of the more athletic kids we've ever had in the program over 8 or 9 years, and just brings so much energy to the game.
She creates a lot of havoc, plays with her hair on fire as a 3-point shot taken there. Good hustle by Gallagher to keep it in bounds. Before that one, Maddie Long knocked down a triple for a Yahtzee, 31-5. But yeah, I agree with you, Coach, that she definitely brings an energy and a fire to the floor when she's in there. The runner in the lane was a good look, no. But Fayed taking it strong to the hole and getting on the floor. Nice job by Philbrook. Coming back the other way, Central loses control, and checking back in is Drapo, and Laura Marino making her first trip in as we have a timeout called. It'll be I believe a 30-second variety, so Coach Orlando going to the bench early here, bringing in a couple of players, and Laura Marino being one of them, another freshman who's just had a nice game in that JV game and now getting some action here on the varsity.
Yeah, and gives Guertin a little bit of length. Probably 5'11", approaching 6 feet tall freshman. Got a really, really bright future. So we'll, it'll be nice to see her in action here in the first half of a game.
This Guertin Cardinal team enters with a 5-8 record. We think the race is to 7. It could be 8 games to make the tournament. With that Wachusett game up in the air, we're not really sure how that one's going to play out, but you can only control what's directly in front of you, and right now that's this Manchester Central West team as Rosario drives hard to the left and puts it in. We haven't been able to see that the last couple of games, Coach, it feels like.
Yeah, well, look, you're at that point in time in the year where, teams have scouted you. So like every team, people have tendencies and so forth, and they're starting to make players do things that, they don't love to do. So, nice to see Jazz back, back in the scoring column here.
Good job of clearing the glass, and the Cards quickly get down onto the offensive end of things. Philbrook from beyond the arc, nice ball fake, takes it hard to the hole, no call. But transition defense is looking good right now for the Cards. And nice job by Marino to lead that past the Jazz, and she goes up strong with the right and finishes. Chance for a 3-point play the old-fashioned way.
Finished with the right hand right there, too.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And you can also tell, that through the course of the season, earlier in the season, she may have tried to go back to the left and finish to the left, and that's just a confidence thing. And good to see from Jazz as Marley Oates will check back into the game for the Little Green. Front iron, but Marino taps that ball, keeps it alive. Offensive rebound out to Long. Dribble drive, 3 players collapse down on her. They reverse it because that's what was open. And a nice drive by Philbrook. and she'll have a chance. And Brad, just really seems like this Cardinal team maybe is driving to the hoop a lot more than they have the last few games.
Yeah, and they feel like looks like they get their legs and their energy back.
It does. Little home cooking your own home floor. Nice rebound by Talia. Another runner in the lane is no good. Philbrick just swinging elbows and has it ripped away from her, but she plays aggressive. I like it.
Physical.
Really like it.
Moving.
Yeah, there's a moving pick called there. That one will go against Muhammad. I believe that's her second personal. And that's the team's fifth, so it should be shooting fouls. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I am right. Back iron. So Vanessa Martinez will check in, and unless, yeah, I mean, either way, it's the fifth foul, so nobody saying anything. Over the top it comes, so we'll just play on.
Nice.
What a pretty pass underneath to Drapo, and guess who that was from? Philbrick.
Yep.
Nice job, nice pass. Drapo has 5. They're extending that 1-3-1 out really far. We're going to get a travel call. So 39-5, 1:25 to go here in the first half. Jason Roby along with Brad Crake on the color commentary. Steve Cody's the man on the moving pictures. You are watching on the highlight guy. 1:20 to go. Jazz looking on the low block. No, she'll get it up top to Marino. And Marino joins the Boston 3 party. See what I did there, Steve? Looking for some help. We'll skip past it across the way. This is man. Dribble drive. And there's the length that you talked about, Coach.
Yep.
By Marino. And
good contest.
We're going to jump ball. Possession goes to the Little Green Knights. I'm not used to saying Little Green Knights, but we're just doing that because it is the Central and West team combined.
Push.
Drapo pulls that one down and finds a streaking Jazz. She had to kick it out. Long, downtown, reversal. Yes! Yahtzee! Maddie Long, another triple on the ledger for her. 30 seconds to go. 45-5 Cardinals. Tiana Mann now. Right-hand dribble against Long. The elbow was cut off. They dish it out. No, it was a good look there. And the Cards were definitely looking to push there. As you can see, Drapo looking up the floor. Back to Long, top of the key. They'll reverse it. They'll hold for the last shot. Skip pass to Long. Philbrick, dribble drive, left hand, yes! And what a good look, Coach, to end the first half. They did not settle for a long shot. They took it to the hoop. That was Philbrick. Your thoughts before we go to the half here? 47-5 Cardinals.
They're definitely getting healthy. Just a good, solid half. A little bit of a mismatch here. I think we knew coming in that Central was struggling a little bit. They're playing their butts off. Guertin just got too many weapons for him right now, I think.
And those weapons are firing on all cylinders as the 3-ball. 9 3-pointers here so far this evening. 10 3-pointers, so 30 points coming off of triples. It is 47-5, Guertin over Manchester Central West. We will take it to halftime. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Are you looking to play sports in college? Almost every college recruiting website recommends having a highlight video as one of the top 3 crucial recruiting tools. In fact, 93% of college coaches we surveyed said they watch a recruit's highlight video as part of their player assessments. Our sole purpose is to make you look good. Our highlight videos include an athlete bio and accolade page, stop motion, and player highlight. The video is not done until you are completely satisfied and say it's done. We also upload to YouTube or whatever recruiting platform you use. The highlight guy can also film your high school or club games to capture you in action, resulting in amazing footage that you can use to help create your highlight video. We have the expertise to help you get recruited. Check out our website at thehighlightguy.com or contact Steve at thehighlightguy.com to get started on your path to playing sports in college.
Hi, my name is Deb Cody and I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Coastal and Lakes and Mountains Realty. I serve both residential and commercial clients in New Hampshire and Maine and work with an amazing team of KW colleagues and affiliate partners to help you achieve your real estate goals. In 2022, I ranked in the top 20% of 700 plus agents within my brokerage. I was nominated this past year to serve on the Agent Leadership Committee within my firm and have enjoyed giving back to my colleagues and local community. Are you curious to know how much your home may be worth in today's market? Reach out to me today and I'd be happy to run a complimentary comparative market analysis for you.
Meet Bouvier Prepare, your game changer in college athletics recruitment. We cut through the chaos, focusing on superb communication and top-notch organization. One-on-one attention, tailored strategies, and a winning game plan for emails, calls, camps, visits, and offer closings. Be prepared. Your limitless future starts now with Bouvier Prepare.
You ready, Coach?
Do this.
All right, welcome back to the campus here at Bishop Guertin High School, home of the Cardinals. It is a 47-5 Cardinal advantage. Jason Roby calling all of the action for you. Brad Crake is doing the color commentary. And the man on the moving pictures, as always, is the highlight guy, Steve Thor Cody. 8 minutes on the clock. The Cardinals inbound. And Rosario will start things off. Over to the right side, it goes to Long. Regan, and back over to Jazz. Cardinals showing good patience here in the half court. Once again, no shot clock in the state of New Hampshire. Love the dribble drive. She looked outside, took it to the hoop and missed, but you gotta like to see that effort by Drapo.
A great first possession for them. Didn't go down, but great first possession.
Good transition defense by the Cards to thwart off the fast break opportunity by Central West. Fired way downtown, no. Good positioning on the glass. Long comes away with it, and a cheap one will be called on Manchester. It'll go against number 10, Layla Muhammad, and that is her third personal, first on the team for the third quarter. The race is to 5, and it's not a race you want to win. Steve Cody says that I'm not playing. Long on the right side. Gets it up top. And the Cards operate in the half court. Flashing on the block was Drapo, was double teamed, so the Cards will reset. Regan at the foul line. Kick out a little low. Jazz will take it baseline. It's cut off by a double team. Regan fortunate to not have that one go off her foot. Dufo from way downtown. Yahtzee. Dufo had 12 in the first quarter, all via the beyond the three-point stripe, and now right where she left off as a slew of Cards get ready to check in. The lead has gone up to 45. We'll have running time. Drapo goes up strong with the left hand and finishes, and she has 7. Back the other way comes Manchester Central, 6:15 to go. Bounce pass, dribble drive, taking the baseline. The runner is a little long.
Push the ball. Push the ball. Perfect.
And they will do that. You have a 4-on-3 opportunity. Good job by Jazz. Establishes the left side. Will reverse. On ball pick there. Drapo. Little two-player game. Jazz thought about it. They reverse it instead. Dufo has the odd hand. Misses. And right place, right time. Long goes up. Couldn't get it to go, but it'll go off of a Manchester player's hand, and 5 bodies will come in for the Cardinals. And it looks like we have Philbrick. No. Looks like Bowen is in, Fayed, and Gallagher. So I like this lineup, Coach.
Yeah. Actually, I don't. Probably not Marino. Lexi Liza.
Oh, it's Lizotte. You're right. Yeah, it's
Yep.
Lexi's in there.
Yep.
My mistake. I thought I saw a 0 there, but I did see a 3. Lexi is in.
Yep. Good lineup. I don't think we've seen this lineup on the floor all year. We'll see how they do.
The runner in the lane is up and good. Pretty little floater there on the baseline as Central gets into the scoring column in the third quarter. That was Vanessa Martinez with her first bucket. And you just see there, with authority, Maggie Gallagher just taking it into the middle of the key and taking no prisoners. She'll head to the line for a pair as Vanessa Martinez will pick up her first personal foul. Gallagher, shooter's touch, knocks down the first. This free throw brought to you by Goodnight Moon. In the Cardinal gym. That was kind of a creepy voice. I was trying to go for the Goodnight Moon there. That was, we can edit that out, right, Steve? Okay. Crossover dribble man, pretty penetrate there. What a finish at the cup. Tiana has her 4th point. Bowen thought about it and instead will take it to the hoop and get hacked in the act, and Mack attacks, gets hacked in the act, going to the rack.
Mack off to play college softball next year with her sister down at Eastern Connecticut. Tremendous softball player. I don't know if you've ever seen her play. absolutely crushes the ball.
I believe it. And a year ago, Mac was doing her best impression of the highlight guy up here, running the camera for us at a couple of games.
She was great to see her without that knee brace.
Yeah, it's good to see, right?
Like way too many people here today's day and age, missed last year with an ACL. But looks great, moving really well, and a great job by Lexi.
Lexi knocking down the floater in the lane. And look at that lane close down real quick as Bowen and Fayed slid together, and that ball goes out of bounds. So I like the inside presence that this lineup presents here for Coach Orlando.
Yeah, you look at it, this is a very physical lineup that BG's got on the floor right now. Again, I don't think anybody over 5'9" maybe, but
oh man,
boy, they're athletic
and physical.
Oh yeah.
And you think about it, Brad, and it's up and under. It was a good move there by Gallagher. Couldn't get it to go. Is this, and this is all hypothetical, of course, just kind of thinking out loud here. Is this maybe a look that you throw up there against a Bedford or one of these, bigger, more physical teams when you face them?
Yeah, maybe. Look, I mean, you got a kid like Lana McCarthy.
Yeah.
And she's such an imposing force that you figure you're going to need more than one kid guarding her, and you're going to need more than 5 fouls.
Yeah, right.
So take your pick, right? You got a kid like Mac Bowen, who's really, really strong, and I think could give you a couple of minutes on Lana. Bella for a couple of minutes, Maggie for a couple of minutes. It's kind of defense by committee against a kid like that. So
yeah.
We'll see. A week from Friday, we'll see how Liv and Brad game plan for that one. But I like to see the depth here.
Well, the other part that I like is you have more kids that are playing different positions, but they can all handle the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, well, look, we talked about the first 5, and they can all handle. Look who's bringing the ball up the floor.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And
great
a nice pass, wow! Sorry if I just blew your speakers out on your computer at home, but threading the needle there. Good vision by Bowen as she spots Fayed underneath for the easy bucket.
So here's another little aspect to this that we've always found intriguing is, it's more fun when you can play 10 or 11 kids.
Yeah.
Now Guertin's got 5 kids that weren't in the starting lineup on the floor right now, giving them a 2-3 minute stretch, 3.5 minute stretch. In a game that's a little closer. When you trust that depth and so forth, Liv and Brad, they can come back anytime they want now with a fresh 5.
Yeah.
And you're just wearing people out over 32 minutes. And we used to always rely on our depth and say, we don't really care that much if it's a 2, 4, 6 point game at halftime. Sooner or later against most teams, the dam's going to break. So I love what Liv's doing right here, and she's going deep into the bench. She's giving some kids some opportunities to prove that they can play down the stretch, and it's all good stuff right now.
And there's a different element here with this 5 that are in the game. It's a physical presence, and that more than anything. Look, I mean, there's up to this point, you've scored 10 points in the third quarter with 3 minutes to go, which is great, but you're also bringing a physical presence to a team that might be a little bit tired at this point too, and that really starts to make a difference. And again, you pointed out you're going to face some teams here coming up that have some really good bigs on their team, and you can put some other bodies on there. And almost stealing it there is Bowen way downtown, air ball, but Bowen moves well, and you mentioned the knee injury a year ago and rehabbed it hard to get maybe a little bit of water on the floor here. Steve, since you've taken your shirt off, why don't you just throw it down there and they can clean it up. Steve Cody treating the bleachers like Hampton Beach up here. Not quite sure what's going on.
You get the paparazzi over there on the other side of the gym, right?
There you go. I'm not so much down on taking the shirt off, but the fact that he painted BG on his chest is like, what's that all about? I don't know.
I thought that was a tattoo, no?
No. Well, we'll let that one die right here. All right. That ball goes into the corner, comes out up top. Nice triple threat position, kick back out. Little three-player game here. Murphy gets it back up top to Mann. Mann, triple threat, utilizing that left foot pivot, looking for some help. Finds Murphy. Murphy loses the dribble, needs some help. Will find it in Mann. Lydia now, and it's going to go off. It looked like it went off of Lexi. They say it did, so Little Green, the Little Green Knights on the possession. You look at the roster, and it has the Central insignia, and it has the Blue Knight insignia, but I'm just trying to condense. Intercepted there, and Philbrook didn't have the numbers, so she'll bring it back up top. And they'll skip it across the way. Oof. And a turnover there, but you can just see the strength that this Guertin team, the second five, plays with here. Skipped up top to the elbow. The runner in the lane, no. And Murphy will fight for it and get it back up top to the side. And a Yahtzee from way downtown. That was number 22, Vanessa Martinez, and she has 5, all of them in the third. Ball stolen, Mann comes away with it now. Central a chance to go on a little bit of a run here with 1:18 to go in the third quarter. Fouls not appearing to be a factor. Got to be careful there. Ball went off of a Cardinal wing, so Central will get possession. Poulin to do the honors on the inbound, guarded closely by Gallagher. Inbound pass a little too high. Cards will run, and Philbrick will slow it down. Didn't want to take that layup. Nice pass to Fayed and a kick out. Step back. Cards really focusing on working in the half court here. Philbrick lost the handle to it, was able to tip it back out, and Bowen will go hard to the hoop. Little leather souffle there as two Central players converge. No call, back the other way comes Bowen. Game getting a little physical now. Bowen will slow things down and bring it over half court. Lexi looking for help. Finds Bowen. It was a nice look, and I like the fact, Brad, that they are looking through the motion of the offense to find that player on the low block.
Yep, it's a really interesting lineup right here, Jason.
I like it. Yep. I gotta tell you. And the way I see it is no bucket's gonna come easy. You're gonna earn every point you get here. That one is going to go against Gallagher. That's her second. And I think Coach Orlando has come up with something here, and a little bit of tinkering. It's good stuff.
Yep.
Poulin makes the first. She will get a second. And it's her first point of the evening for the senior guard. 2 out of 2, pretty shot there, release rotation, splash, 57-14, Bishop Guertin. Into the corner, Lexi finds a flashing Gallagher, and just a completely different flow to that third quarter from the standpoint of we're gonna rain from threes in the first half, and in the second half, we're gonna push this thing inside the paint and make our hay that way.
Yeah, very interesting lineup. Like we said, as I think, to a kid, strong bodies, aggressive kids. You saw it on the offensive side of the floor. I thought you saw it more on the defensive side of the floor. There were a couple of times Central, the dribble penetration, and they just got swallowed up. Both times. Interesting lineup. See it. That's something Coach will come back to here over the next couple of weeks. And
that's a great point. It's a great segue into what my next thought was. Is the thought the more maybe you develop something like this, and again, we're pure speculation, but if you start to develop something like that, it can pay off for you in that second season should you make the playoffs and maybe maybe steal one or two here or there with the fact that you're able to bring in those other bodies.
Hey, listen, more arrows in the quiver is always a good thing, right? You never know. Sometimes you get into a game in a tight playoff game, and refs call it tight. You get a couple kids in foul trouble early, and the more options you have to bridge into the third and fourth quarter, and again, wear people down and use your depth, the better off you're going to be. I just think it increases your odds of being successful in March.
Arrows in the quiver, Steve. More of those. Well said, Coach.
So we got Avery McKiernan getting her first action of the night. Sophomore, great shooter, really great shooter. Had a great freshman season last year with the JV team. Can really shoot the ball.
And for me, Brad, I'll tell you what I'm seeing. I watched the defense on that last one and how well these girls move their feet defensively.
Yep. Yeah, they rebound the ball.
So now the Cards will go into a half-court set. This will be a running clock here the rest of the way as ball goes over to Marino. Laura back up top. Cards will reset with Philbrick. And now Bowen. Little three-player game. Firing from downtown. No. Battling for that board was Bowen, coming up just short. And that one may have been tipped. Nice job by Bowen. She'll run the other way. She had McKiernan if she wanted her in the corner. Now she does.
Yeah. I don't know if Liv's got him shooting threes anymore, but it'd be nice to see Avery. You'll really love her stroke. Just pure, simple and easy, and bang. Oh, good shot.
Bowen shooting from way downtown. Ball hits the floor. No travel called, and Central will come the other way. Leather souffle. Marino says, "Get out of my kitchen." Block shot goes out of bounds, and the Central West Little Green Blue Knights will take the ball out of bounds. Fired from downtown, and they're saying a 2, so her foot must have been on the line, but Poulin now has 4.
Jason, just kind of pulling back up here and focusing on Central for a little bit. They had a tough year. They came in here tonight, they're down 40 at halftime. It just says a lot about these kids that they're out there battling still. I mean, they have not taken a possession off on either end of the floor. They're trying to run their stuff and so forth. Look, it's not always about the wins and losses. I think, I'm just so impressed that these guys are grinding it out.
A sign of playing the right way, right, Brad? I mean, we sometimes when we call games up here, we do everything we can to make it seem like it's, tighter than it is, regardless of who's up and who's down. You really haven't had to do that with this Central team as a foul gets called because they're playing the game the right way, and we noted that in the JV game as well. Those kids were playing hard, and you're seeing the same thing here out of this varsity group. So. Right. Kudos to Coach Wenners. It can't be easy, especially when you have to do a cohort with bringing another school in. And Poulin will head to the line for 2.
Yeah, they're playing hard. I haven't seen them back up on any possession. I haven't seen them chirping at each other. I haven't seen them, throwing an elbow or getting frustrated. They're just playing their butts off.
It's really easy to 2 out of 2 for Poulin when the going is good. It's easy to be a front runner, and your character really shows, doesn't it? When you're on the short end of these kinds of things, it really sticks out. So, kudos to Coach Wenners and his staff for keeping these girls playing the right way.
Yep, I agree.
Little spin move by Philbrick, kick out, fired downtown. No, Marino side iron that one. Muhammad will come back the other way into the corner now. It's Oates, tried to find the low post. Was intended for Lydia Mann. She couldn't get the handle, and a wing may have been stuck in there to knock it away. Lazat now. Lexi surveys the scene, looking for Flasher, finds Marino, who will kick it back out. Philbrick thought about it. Another penetrate kick. And Philbrick will bring things back out. Top of the key. On ball screen, fired downtown, no. Rebound goes to Manchester Central West. And running from coast to coast is Perron. She will kick it out. And I think that one is going to be on Marino. We'll have to wait, see what the official says. It is, in fact, on Laura, so she will pick up her first personal, the second team foul. And I thought the clock would be running in a 35-point difference. Am I wrong on that, Coach?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why it's not, to be honest with you.
Missing the first was number 12, Poulin. Free throws, it stops. That's what it is. I actually knew that. I just wanted to make Brad look like he didn't know what he was talking about there. All right.
That is not difficult.
Always a pleasure to have Coach Craig call the games with us here. He'll be with us again on Friday when we go to the campus of Bedford in what should be the game of the year as 5 Central players check into this one. We'll get our look at a couple of the players that played in that JV game maybe potentially as well. So it'll be Little Green Ball, 57-19, and there you go. As you see, the clock is running. And yes, when there are free throws, the clock stops.
So Jason, just for a minute or two on Friday night's game, I think a lot of people looking forward to that game. That Bedford-Pinkerton matchups, people have been kind of gearing up for that all year long, kind of seeing that coming. When's the last time you saw a Division I girls high school basketball game with 7 kids with Division I scholarship offers? It's been a while, huh?
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. There's some real talent on the floor on Friday night. And some of it's young talent. Some of it's real young talent. So that's going to be a heck of a contest.
It should be a good one. We're excited to call it for you as Bowen goes up strong, gets hacked in the act, and the referee showing just how strong a push it was. So Bowen will head to the line for a pair of these, and I poke fun. You really haven't noticed these officials out here tonight, which is the sign of a well-officiated game.
Yeah, they've done a good job.
Yeah.
Tough games to officiate, I'm sure.
No doubt. Bowen knocks in the first, and yeah, we will be there. The highlight guy will be there filming the game. We will be live. You can take that one in. I know Steve Cody has already started putting it out there on social media at the highlight guy, and excited to call that one. 1 out of 2 for Bowen on that trip, and that ball almost went out of bounds. It was saved there by Martinez. Central, nice move, baseline, dribble drive, thrown up there, no, but it was a nice move. Bowen battles for it, and several bodies converge. Philbrick comes away with it. Marino will slow things down and find Philbrick back up at the top of the key. Nice, and we've got an offensive foul there. As 11 on 11, it was Bowen heading to the hoop and ran into Seneska. Angela, the sophomore forward, so nice job of taking that charge. First foul on Bowen. This Bishop Guertin team, it is up in the air when we'll see them next. It's supposed to be Saturday on the campus of Emmanuel College in the annual game against Wachusett, Mass. But
Tuesday's an off date for them, scheduled off date for them, and then they got Bedford coming in here a week from Friday. So, yeah, it'll be interesting what the next 10 days looks like for them.
No doubt. And that'll be a Bedford team coming off of a Pinkerton game. Our old friend Kevin Gibbs will be coming into the nest.
Yeah. Pretty significant seeding implications for that Friday night game too. I mean, you look at the schedules and who has who left on it. See, there's the McKiernan kid. I love that kid's stroke.
Yep.
You would assume that the winner of that game Friday night is going to get the 1 seed.
Going to get the 1 seed, and yep, no doubt.
The loser is more likely than not going to be 2. Londonderry with 2 losses, but having played the top 4 teams already, kind of in the catbird seat for that 3 seed, and then, a team that you and I saw a few weeks back and gave Bedford the scare of their lives over on the Seacoast is that Portsmouth team. And,
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, for the if history is any indicator, they're going to be they're going to be peaking in March. Coach Hopley just always has a knack of getting his teams, to the playoffs, healthy, ready to go, and playing their best basketball in March. And they got 4 seniors there, a bunch of kids going to play again at the next level. A lot of length, a lot of experience, a lot of skill. That's a scary team for anybody. And if I were guessing right now, I'd say they're probably looking at a 4 seed. Things happen over the last period of time, but my guess is they'll be a 4 seed. Boy, that's one heck of a 4 seed.
No doubt.
So those are probably your top 4, and then it's a little bit of a dogfight. 5, 6, 7. You got Dover, you got Goffstown having a heck of a year with Coach Largy and so forth. So a lot of moving parts here, and then there's a big logjam of teams, as kind of in that 11 through 14 slot. So a lot of things still to be decided here over the last 16, 17, 18 days of the regular season.
We'll come to the conclusion of this one. It is a Bishop Guertin 58-19 win over the Manchester Central West Co-op, and this could be a Guertin team, Brad, that if they get into the laboratory and start mixing some things up here like we saw Coach Orlando do today, could be a very tough out for somebody in those playoffs. A team that we can do it inside, we can do it outside, we can body you up defensively, we can run. When they're hitting on all cylinders, I don't think it's any stretch to say that, and look, we've seen this Guertin team play very well against Goffstown in that Christmas tournament. We saw them play and beat a Salem team that's up there in wins. I'm sure they would love another crack at Portsmouth, and obviously you talk about Bedford, you talk about Pinkerton, it's a different animal. But anything can happen once you get into that second season, and you know that because you've been there.
Yeah, the key thing for them right now, interestingly enough, is they just got to get in. They got to get in. So tonight's their 6th win, so they're 6-8. Depending upon the what happens with that Wachusett game, they either have 4 or 5 left. Wachusett is for my money maybe the best team in the state of Massachusetts. Bedford. So that's 2 of the 4 or 5 right there. And then you've got, Exeter and Wyndham in the last week of the regular season, 2 likely playoff teams. They have not played Exeter yet. They beat They beat Wyndham in the holiday tournament over in Hollis in a tight game. So, just a lot of moving parts right now. But you just got to rack the wins up when you can get them, and just kind of good workman-like, solid performance tonight.
Well, definitely a lot of things can happen as we wrap this one up. It's a Bishop Guertin team that really played well tonight. They did a little bit of everything really well. They shot the ball from beyond the three-point stripe well. They drove to the basket well, shared it well, and then defensively really did some nice things out there on the floor. In addition, we got to see some other players play, and there really wasn't much of a drop-off. Maybe a different style of play, but you kind of like to see that. Here's what we bring to the table. It's a different recipe, but it tastes just as good as what you saw in the beginning of the game. And so that can be a frustrating thing. And what it also does, maybe you get a glimpse of a little bit of strategy when you head in to play some of these other teams that maybe they don't run the floor as well, but they have some bigs. And now you can kind of put some bodies on there. That gives you fouls that you can burn. It allows you to rest some of your kids and keep your own team out of foul trouble. Not a lot of foul trouble tonight for Bishop Guertin because they went deep on the bench, maybe.
Oh, I think that's exactly right. And again, you just kind of go right through the gauntlet. Bedford, dominant big and a kind of rob to McCarthy's Batman with a 6'1", 6'2" Kate Allard. Tough matchup. Pinkerton, Lavoie, 5'11", Alex White, 5'10", 5'11", Portsmouth. 3 5'11" kids in the 6-footer. You drop down into that second tier right now with Dover with a 6'2" dominant big. The teams that you're likely to see in the playoffs, they're good for a reason, and they're good because they're deep, they're strong, they're physical. I just love the fact that, as you say, you got some kids that might be able to give you, stretches of good minutes, particularly on the defensive side of the floor, keep you out of foul trouble, and so forth. So, nice little bit of tinkering tonight by Coach, and we'll see how things play out.
Really look forward to talking to her and seeing just what she thought of how things went tonight, and you know, she left with a little hop in her step and a little smile on her face, and maybe a sign of things to come, as there are some games here that are going to determine the fate of this Bishop Guertin team. And I think what you can read between the lines here is that if you do get this Guertin team into the playoffs and they're playing with house money, they're going to be a difficult out, no question about it.
Yep, I agree.
We'll look at the final scorebook here. It is Tiana Mann for Manchester with 4 points. Chloe Murphy had a bucket. Poulin with 6. Perron with 1. And rounding out the scoring, Vanessa Martinez with 5. On the home side of the ledger, it's Maddie Long with 6. Lazat with a bucket. Philbrick with 4. Ayla Regan with 6. Bowen with a point. Bella Fayed in her return game got 5 in the scoring column. Gallagher with 3. Dufo, 15 points. Rosario with 6. Marino with 3, and Drapo with 7. This is a team that shares the basketball really well, and you can tell just by looking at 10 players scored tonight. That's an impressive thing. A Bishop Guertin team that moves to 6-8 on the season. The Wachusett game is up in the air right now, but something tells me all of you folks will be watching us on the Highlight Guy on Friday night. We hope to have an answer for you then about the fate of that Wachusett game that's played on the campus of Emmanuel College. For my partner, Brad Crake, I want to thank you all for joining us. And my partner, Steve Cody, the highlight guy, the man on the moving pictures, I want to remind all of you that it's not the critic who counts, but you can always count on the critic. We'll see you Friday night in Bedford, everyone. Thanks for watching.